Hello, good morning. I'm back again. You know, I see that the Philippines is losing its shine amongst those foreigners who choose to come here to retire. It's no longer in the top 10, apparently. Many others are choosing places like Spain and Portugal, South America, Mexico, over that of the Philippines. I wonder why. Maybe the American dollar goes somewhere towards that. After all, the American dollar rules the world still. But for many Americans, of course, they come here with the view of maybe finding a beautiful partner to maybe take home to America, to invite them to share their lives in America, as opposed to here in the Philippines. They have no intention of staying here permanently. Maybe eventually they might consider the wishes of their wife to be and her wish to be around family when she gets older too. But for many Filipinos, of course, it's a big sacrifice to leave their loved homeland to return only later on in life. Somewhat, I suppose, held back by the fact that they no longer are as close to their family as they thought they were going to be through their life. But sadly, a lot of Americans are losing their patience, their understanding of how they perceived their life was going to be here in the Philippines. Of course, Americans, as a general rule, don't like to be told how to do anything. They've got their own mind, their own freedom to express that, and who should dare to tell them how to live their life? I would be the last to tell them that anyway. That applies to anybody, really, but if you want to get on here in the Philippines, you want to just melt into the environment and enjoy the lifestyle that it can offer you. It's quite easy to do. But being American also, it's extremely difficult for many. Not all, but for many. They've been brought up with the idea that their opinion matters most. What annoys them is important to them. They don't have the ability always to step back and look back at themselves as to maybe they're the problem, not others. I liken this to the idea that they speak their own mind. Yes, it's okay to speak your own mind amongst those that you are familiar with from your own country, maybe even from other foreign countries, but not Filipino. You have to remember that when you're drunk or when you're with your buddies taking the mickey out of Filipino or Filipino, that other people are listening to what you say. Yes, it is a bit like Big Brother. You can't voice your opinion on your own political views of a country, your country, and others, because for those listening to your conversation behind the bar, maybe as a waitress waiting for your next, come on miss, I want another meal. They listen with their ears and they consume what you're saying. And if for a moment you let your guard down and you say something that maybe you shouldn't have said, it's imprinted in their mind. So they have an opinion of you as a group of people, the same as they would Australians or English. They don't see you any different. Of course, I see you different. My friends see you different. My fellow Australians see you different. But we all know that we do the same thing. We all can be forgetful at times. We can all make a fool of ourselves at some times. But it's having the ability to laugh at oneself, the ability to go with the flow, that I think a lot of Americans who do come here find it difficult to do. They moan about the blackouts, they moan about the infrastructure, they moan about the women. Guys, if that's all you've got to do, and I call myself the grumpy Brit in the Philippines, but I'm not really grumpy. But honestly, you guys fit the bill so often. You're loud, you're bold, you're obnoxious sometimes, just like Australians can be, or English people. But once told, hopefully we learn quicker than you, because we learn manners, we learn how to blend in maybe a little easier than many of you who choose to come here. Not all Americans are like you. You, unfortunately, are a new kind of breed. You're the ones in the 60s. You still up yourself. You still think that you're better than everybody else. You still hang on to this stupid comment like, if it wasn't for us, we saved the Second World War. Did you really? Ah, okay. I'll tell that to Australians and New Zealanders and Indians and English people and French people who fought the war as well. And they were successful in squashing the Third Reich. And when I grew up, the Third Reich was a bad word. It was what had caused so much pain and suffering around the world to so many millions of people. And there was a feeling that you wouldn't buy Japanese for a long, long time, until people worked out that Japanese quality was really good, and that those stereo systems made in Japan were top quality compared to maybe the ones made in America or England, or at least equal, if not just that little bit better. But for you Americans, everything American was to be proud of. Fine, I can live with that. But guys, when you come to the Philippines, you have to tone yourself down. You come here, 10 out of 10. I'm fully American. Listen to me. I know what's right. You don't. You're just a mere other expat. And you wonder why there's a resentment to the way that some of you behave here. And no wonder so many of you are leaving, disenchanted, unable to adapt, unable to blend in with the community. You know, there's a lot of very nice, pleasant, intelligent Americans here who are a real attribute to the communities around them. But unfortunately, there are a lot of you who are just bums, who come here with your big fat wallet thinking you can buy happiness. And you cannot buy happiness. You can buy a couple of hours in a hotel. You can pick out the girl you want to have a bar fine with. But that's not happiness. That's just abuse. That's just thinking of yourself. How many of you come here and just see a single woman as a target for abuse by you? How dare you think that just because a woman has fallen pregnant, maybe by mistake, maybe by a broken relationship, why should you think that you have the right to talk badly about her? Some of you do, and it's disgusting to hear you talk like that. And I'd be the first to wave you away, to wave goodbye to you on the plane as you go back to America, boasting about how many women you've had in the Philippines, trying to encourage other guys to do what you've done. What did you do but spend your money foolishly, waste it on umpteen gallons of beer and liquor to get blotto every night on the beach, Do you really want Americans to be seen all like sick grandpa? Is that your image of yourself? You know, sick grandpa is a sick grandpa. That's if he is in fact a grandpa. But try and be somebody you can hold your head up for, as an example. Someone who's generous, caring, loving to those around him. Not somebody who spends all his time seeking out American-style breakfasts every day, bragging about his steaks, his five-star living, his seafront apartment. Who cares? Who cares if you want to live in a kubu, a nipa hut, a bamboo frame with a bit of corrugated iron up? If you're happy, that's fine. If your girlfriend is happy, that's fine. But don't try and be something you will never be, and that is a good American. Because your kind are the kind that the Philippines don't want. And you're the kind that spread the news to others to make the Philippines no longer part of the group of the 10 best places to retire. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Keep your comments, if they are rude, to the minimum, because it saves me deleting them. But first of all, and most of all, enjoy watching videos, not just mine, others, and try and learn that those with feet on the ground are there to tell you and to show you there is another way outside of America, where if you live your life the way we all do, which is to the best of our ability, and we stay a little bit under the radar, it's the best way to live here in the Philippines. Tone yourself down. Learn to adapt. Stop complaining. They used to say English people complain, but I can assure you I've heard nothing but Americans complaining, and I just can understand now why so many of you are going bye-bye.